I'm in Helmut Meyer of the 716th Infantry Division. I'll be going over the Kar98k. So first we'll start with the main part, stock, the most important part where you hold the weapon, all that. So to start, you have the barrel, uses 8mm Mauser, which there's some 8mm Mauser blanks right here. So first, slide it into the bottom. It sits in there like that. Then you take this top handguard cover part, set it in a little recess part behind the sight. Then you take the barrel band that has the sling mount on it, front sling mount, slide it on. That top part can't go anywhere. Now we have the barrel band spring, slide it in here. Then you're going to want to have this. There's a hole there for the little peg that's right there. But barrel band and everything is together. So then we take the part cleaner up. You would have 3 other of these, and then you can just drop it down the rifle like so. So then you just slide the hole in the front receiver part and tighten it down as such. So I attached the front sight hood. It will take some needle nose pliers and a person to hold the weapon while you slide over the top. Now we'll get to the internal magazine part of the weapon. So it comes in 2 parts. There's a quick release button on the bottom in that recess right there. And you rock it in so the magazine and the magazine well latches in. So it turns into this part here. Then you see this hole opening right here. You slip it in, slide it in like that. And then there's 2 holes. Then it'll slide in just as that. Then there's 2 screws on each hole. So small bolt goes up front. This longer bolt goes back because it connects through the handguard and the stock into a screw hole back here on the back of the gun. So you want to make sure for these small screws, which are the locking screws for these bolts, that they are, so they're, imagine a normal screw, out circle, there's indents on, 3 indents on the screw itself. You want to make sure that that indent is lined up with the second locking screw hole. So you can make sure that it stays in. Okay, now we have the internal magazine and forward plate in, along with the trigger guard. Now we'll start with rebuilding the bolt. So there's a little disc on both sides of the weapon. You're going to set that off to the side, kind of like this. Then you're going to want to set the firing pin into the bolt like that. And then firing pin spring goes in there. Then you'll want to push down on this after putting in the safety, which is this part right here. And so it's on the safe setting, then you're going to turn it to the middle, kind of like that. And then you're going to push down the flag, take this part, slide it on, make sure the long part is facing down towards the back of the spring. Then, take the bolt proper, put it in, make sure it locks. Then, pull lock in, and feed in like that. And you want to put the flag on safe, so if you are stupid enough to have rounds in the chamber, you pull the trigger, nothing comes out. Then we get to the sling, which is right here. Sling comes in two parts: the main length of the sling, and then a part like the end part where it latches in onto. So first I'm going to slide through here, through the front sling hole. Slide it all the way down through the loops on the other half of the sling that you're going to be putting it through. Then slide this ring all the way down to here. And then slide this through the metal part. You're going to want to then you'll feed it through the other side. You'll want a decent amount of slack, so it goes like that. Then you'll slide it through the hole here, slide it through like such, put it through here, and put it through this loop here. Then pull it tight as such. There you go. You have a complete reassemble of the Kar98k. To load it, usually you would have a 5-round stripper clip, but if necessary, you can do it by hand as such. Like that. Then push it forward, down, and then you can fire. I have it on the middle one, which will allow you to pull the trigger, but nothing fires. Then rinse and repeat, and I'll eject as such. On the last round, the magazine lifter will come up and stop the bolt from going forward. If you're done firing, you're going to push down on the receiver and then put the weapon on safe. Then test to make sure it doesn't fire. You don't want all the way to fire, it's all the way to the left, and then you want to make sure, and then you see it fire. But when you have a real weapon, as this is, you want to make sure, for reenacting purposes, you want to make sure if you are firing at somebody, you want to make sure that if they are within 15-20 meters in front of you, you point above their heads, but if they're further out than that, you can point directly at them. But make sure it's at a safe distance and make sure you don't injure anybody. That is the main priority of this. Do not injure anybody. One way to get horribly injured is using a real bayonet. There are rubber bayonets in the market. Just don't use a real one on a person. It hurts. Basically, but to put on the real bayonet, there's this bayonet plug right here. Slide it over the cleaning rod, which sometimes it's a pain to do. Alright, so I had to switch out to my original 1936 made bayonet for this. Because sometimes reproduction bayonets like that one don't like going in. But bayonet holds on. There's a spring-loaded button right here, but the bayonet on securely. So to take it off, push on the button, pull forward, and take it off. The bayonet secures onto a locking lug right there. And when you're done with the bayonet, make sure to take care of it and make sure it doesn't receive rust. And then latch it in like that, and then you're good.
Bye.